Hello everyone, I'm Rashmi Bhandary and today I've got my student Swastik Shetty. Hello Swastik.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You know, Swastik is from the IS branch and the best thing is that he has cleared Google. Now this is one of the first year for us where our students have cleared Google. We have 2 students who have done that. So today we have Swastik. So Swastik, please tell us what is the designation?
Okay. So the designation is Technical Solution Engineer. So
Okay.
I'll be working in cloud team. So this is a new role because before there was a solution engineer or direct cloud engineer, but this is a new role and it's a combination of software engineer and software reliability engineer. It's very close to that.
Software?
Software engineer and software reliability engineer.
Reliability engineer,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it's a new role and even when I got a call from HR, she said that it's a dynamic role. So
Okay.
initially I didn't know what is dynamic role. So as a software engineer, you will be working on a code base and you will be exactly what to do, and maybe you will be building a software. But here you will be solving a real world problem every day. So
Alright.
yeah, it's a very dynamic role.
So looks very interesting,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So because Swastik already had an internship with DRDO and a full-time offer.
Yeah, it's CID.
Oh, CID, I'm so sorry, CID. He already had got it with CID and you were doing the internship, it
Yeah,
turned
as
into a full-time
Yeah,
employment.
they had asked me to join, but I was not very much interested in cybersecurity. So I
Okay.
thought maybe like from initial stages, I was more into IT and I love building
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get into IT.
Great. So Swastik, now Google is a dream for a lot of students and so can you just tell us, so how is the whole process? I mean, what was the first round for you?
Usually you need to go to career website. If you go to career.google.com, so you can see all the openings which are listed there. And according to your, like once you fill the requirements, you can apply there directly. But in my case, actually Google approached me, so it was little different.
Yes. Just imagine Google approaching you and telling, hey Swastik, would you want to join us?
So actually I received a call from HR.
Yeah. But you tell us how did it happen? Because you actually applied in the third year itself.
Yeah, so when I was in third year, I was more curious. I just wanted to know what will be the process because I have heard from others, but I never experienced. So I thought maybe I'll apply. So I applied and then I was very curious, but I was not prepared and I got rejected. And Google has something called as cool down period. So it's 12 months. So next 12 months you can't apply for any roles. So after that, I was preparing for other companies, and this time actually HR called me in the month of October, and she was like, I found your profile, it's very good. So do you want to try? We are hiring for a cloud solution engineer role. So I was not sure because I always wanted to get into software engineer role. But this is little different. Then when I asked her to explain more, she said that it's a very dynamic role. You get to solve real world problems every day. So I thought it's more challenging and maybe why not to try. And also maybe after some time if I perform well, I can shift to any other role.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what are the rounds then?
Yeah, so initially like if you apply directly, there will be like 6 to 7 rounds. So first will be the screening round. So if your resume or if your profile is shortlisted, you will get a call from the HR. So I didn't have that. Like I directly got the call, right? And next round was the MCQ round. So there were questions from data structures, algorithms, operating systems, CN. It is more like fundamentals. It was very basic.
Basic, which you feel that roughly any student who's prepared for aptitude should be able to clear?
Not aptitude, like they will do aptitude.
Okay.
It's more of fundamentals.
Okay, whatever.
All
Right.
Yeah. So here, if you have a good knowledge and if your fundamentals are very strong, then you can easily crack that.
So you have written the regular campus, did you write?
Yeah, ma'am, I have written few.
So when you compare it with that, how
compared to that, it was a little hard.
It is tougher.
Yeah, because if you are prepared completely, you can easily crack that. But if you're a person who has very less knowledge, like if your fundamentals are not very strong, then you might find it hard. So it depends. Like if you're fully prepared.
So you have to really have an in-depth basic fundamental knowledge.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there were questions from almost all the topics like data structures, algorithms, operating system, Unix, computer networking, a little bit of architectures and troubleshooting. Okay. This is something new because when you apply for other roles, there won't be troubleshooting questions. So these troubleshooting questions are more like scenario based. There will be questions like, your friend comes to you and he tells that he can't access this website. At that time, what will you do as a software engineer or a cloud solution engineer? So you should have little knowledge. This won't be in any textbook or anywhere. You should have little experience. maybe if you have encountered these scenarios, you will have how to solve them. So these are like real world problems. So yeah.
How did you have this experience?
Because I was spending a lot of time, like around 25 to 35 hours every week. So I was coding, I was...
oh, you were doing that? 25 to 30 hours per week. Okay, you got it? Yeah. Doing coding and all that.
Yeah,
okay.
I do freelancing also. I do projects for others.
Oh, okay.
From my second year, I started building projects and all. And it like that is something which I actually like to do.
Okay.
So I started doing that. Even during the COVID time, I was doing projects. I was building projects and I was helping others. So that's how I got more experience. And yeah, that's how I know all these.
All right. And then what was the next one?
Yeah, that was a first one for me. And then later there was they have like once you clear that you get a mail from HR. And after that I got a topic. So it's more like this role needs a communication skills also, because you will be talking to the top-notch clients sometimes, because here like clients are more priority, because they will be using the cloud service. So if you if you have a good communication skills, they just want to test that. Okay. So yeah, they had given a topic and I had to talk for 1 minute. So once that is complete,
that was on communication.
Yeah, it was on communication. So I had to record and I had to submit the video.
Okay.
So these two processes took in the month of October and November.
Okay.
And later I didn't receive the mail. Maybe I thought I was not eligible, or maybe I didn't I didn't get selected for the next round. And after a very long time, in the month of January, I got a call. And again she asked, like, your profile looks more like software development, you build a lot of projects, and even the internships were under as a software engineer. So again she wanted to confirm whether I'll be okay with this role. And I was like, yeah, okay, because that initially when she explained it, it sounded good. So I was like, yeah, I'll go for it. And later there was a meeting where people who had cleared all these rounds were there. And they explained the next procedure, what will be the procedure and how will it go. So there were around 120 guys, 120 to 150 members.
Okay.
And after that, all the rounds were interviews. So there was four more rounds. The first round was a technical preliminary round. So this round is very short, but it's for 50 minutes. So I thought
50 or 15?
15.
15. Okay.
So I thought it will be easy.
Okay.
But the thing is, like when I attended the interview, right, I got to know that there will be a lot of questions. And when I tried to explain something, they were like, no, don't explain, just tell me the exact answer. They just want that. And they were asking like 2 questions per minute, I guess.
Okay.
It was very quick. And that was the first technical interview round. It was for 15 minutes. And yeah, like HR was really good.
Okay.
Because Google they consider every individual's time as very priority, because when you talk, like when you have interviews, right? So even if there is a delay of 1 minute, they'll inform you, so that they don't want to waste your time. So yeah, that interview went well. There were questions from web. They asked how web works and all the basic scenarios, like if you can't reach a website, what will you do? And when you try to answer, like, I'll check the internet connection, all these basic things, they'll ask like, imagine you have a permission to check the server side. So in that case, what will you do? As a network engineer, you will be checking the firewall and DNS servers. So that was it. And once that round is complete, that was just 15 minutes on. And after that, HR called me again, and she said that there will be next round, and it will be after 1 week, exactly after 1 week. So it was proper interview, like 1 hour interview, and even the interviews were really good. They make sure that you are comfortable. They talk. They ask how you're doing. And once you're comfortable, they start the interview. And once the interview starts, like once they start the interview, they don't stop anyway. They just keep asking, and if they want precise answer, they keep asking. They give hints also sometimes. So yeah, interviewers were really good.
So what were the sort of topics or questions that?
There were questions from computer networking. The first technical interview, after 15 minutes, there was another interview, right? 1 hour. So there they asked more of computer networking. They asked how TCP works, how like they want precise answer, like how three-way communication takes place. Even there are some codes like sync will be one and acknowledge will be one. So even they wanted that precise value also, like every request.
Okay.
So and then after that they asked about computer networking, they asked about Linux, they asked commands. There are a few commands which are not covered in syllabus also. So like since I use Unix, like I use Ubuntu much as operating system, so I had little knowledge. And there were questions from data structures also. And at the end they gave a piece of code. They asked which language you prefer, and I chose Python. And later they gave a piece of code. He told like analyze the code, explain what this function does. Okay, so I had to go through all the code and then I had to explain what that function does. And then he said that can you optimize the code? He wants me to rewrite the code and he wants me to like he wants me to improve the efficiency. So I had to do that, and later he said that there, like for one test case, there will be a wrong output. So I had to analyze and I had to explain why is it giving a wrong output. So I had to do that. It was at the end of the interview. So yeah, I did that, and yeah, after that, after 30 minutes or 1 hour, I got another call from HR saying that I have another round, like the next round. So it is on the same day.
Okay.
And it was third technical round. And the interviewer was like 3-4 years elder to me, so there was no much generation gap also. So initially we started the conversation, we were talking much about like how is he doing, about the work, and then the interview started. So this interview was more like real world scenarios. Like to tell about the topics, it was web, it was software architectures. So which architecture will you use to for this requirement? So I had to think, analyze, and then answer. And there were questions from networking also. And yeah, so he gave real world problems. He was like, imagine I am a football coach and I want a static website. So how will you do? Which architecture will you use? So that even this topic is not covered in syllabus. So if you have actually built some projects, or if you have done some projects or freelancing, you will have. So since I did freelancing, so I had some idea which architecture, and he said after some time I want to make that website globally available, and there are customers from US, other countries. So what will you do? How will you make sure that the website will reach it faster, and there shouldn't be delay, and it should be very responsive. And how will you spread your business across the world? And there were more questions on that. So it's more like architecture, like which architecture will you use, and you need to think. And if you're stuck somewhere, they'll help you. They'll give hints. Okay, that's the best part. If you're stuck, you need not worry much. And make sure, like they make sure that you are comfortable. If you want to take a break, they allow you.
Okay.
So yeah, after that, the next one was Googliness. That was the last one.
What's it called?
Googliness run.
Googliness. So what's
it's a
about?
unique run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like how you think. They give real world scenarios, and they want to know how you think practically. And if you have encountered these scenarios, they see how did you overcome. Okay, they want to know that. And unluckily, I got a call that day from the HR, and she said that today all the interviews are busy, so you will have this interview tomorrow. So I was like, fine. And then she was like, but the interview will be from Japan. Okay, so he's a Japanese. So I was a little nervous because I have, like as a community member, I had spoken to a lot of people from other countries. But this is this is the first time I'm talking to a Japanese.
Okay.
That is very expensive. But HR was nice. She was telling that, if you don't understand his accent, you can use captions, you can ask the questions, he will repeat. So he was very polite. He made sure that I understand the questions every time, and he gave real world scenarios, and he wanted to know how I think. So that was little nice. Like it's not technical also, it's not HR also, somewhere between that. So that was there, and
so what are the topics that we sort of covered?
they asked like imagine in your team there are like you are a team lead and there are 5 employees in your team. And there is one employee who is not cooperating with you. He's against you. So what will you do?
Right.
Will you kick him out of the team?
Or situation based,
These
behaviors.
Yeah, exactly. So these questions, they do not have an exact answer.
Yes.
It's open-ended questions.
But it was not technical as such.
No, it was not technical. Initially he asked about the role.
Okay.
So he asked what do you know about the role? What do you think ideal cloud engineer, cloud solution engineer, like he would look like?
Okay.
So he asked more questions on that.
Right.
And later he started all this scenario based.
Yes.
And after the interview we spoke like how is he doing.
Okay.
I thought maybe he is working at Bangalore, but no, he is a head of Tokyo branch.
Okay.
And he worked as a tech cloud lead for 6 years, and before that he was working as a cloud engineer at Google.
Okay.
So he has a lot of experience, and it was very nice talking to these people.
All right.
After that. It was in the month of Jan.
Yeah.
And few days back I got it.
Yeah. So you got it somewhere in April?
No. Yeah,
okay, April. So it's a long, drawn process.
Yeah, from October to April.
But the wait is worth it, right?
Yeah. And a new experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So Swastik, any final tips for your juniors or anyone who's preparing for Google, or a company like that? Yeah. What should they be doing?
Only thing is like you should honestly dedicate some time. Here, like if you want to get into some good companies, consistency matters. It's not like you sit for 2 months and you prepare. Every day you spend some 2 hours at least, and do some projects or learn something new. And if you do that, I'm pretty sure you'll get a very good job. Okay, and you should focus more on the fundamentals first, and then. Learn, like there are a lot of juniors asking which language should I learn, how many languages should I learn.
Yeah.
So actually it doesn't matter how many languages do you know. If you have a good knowledge in one particular language, it's more than enough.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you know more, it's nice to know, because you'll be getting to work on different languages or different code base. So you'll have more experience and it will help you at that time. But to crack an interview, they'll ask like 1 or 2 programming languages. That would be enough, and you should have a fundamental knowledge of computer science, because that is very essential to all the, like even if you apply for any other companies or any other roles, you should have a basic knowledge.
Okay. Yes. So thank you very much, Swastik, and wishing you all the very best.
Yeah.
It's bye from both of us till we meet again.
Yeah. Thank you, man.